Now let us see some previous year questions from the topic Global Efforts for Environmental Conservation and Protection. There used to be many questions about the various international conventions both in UPSC and ESC examination. So let us start. The first question is from ESC 2017. It is about the Rotterdam Convention deals with A. Reducing nuclear weapon stockpiles, B. Limiting the use of toxic chemicals, C. Protecting oceans, D. Banning of human clone experiment. So this is an easy question. So it is about the Rotterdam Convention. So we have seen the list of global conventions which is dealing with the protection of biodiversity, different ecosystems, wildlife, etc. and pollution control in conventions also. So the Rotterdam is in pollution control. If you remember this point itself, you can answer this because first one is about nuclear weapon, second is about limiting the use of toxic chemicals, C is about protecting oceans, D is about banning human clone experiment. So B and C are about, maybe we can tell about C also about pollution, but B and C, among B it is limiting use of toxic chemicals. So regarding toxic chemicals, we have different conventions. Basel Convention is about the transboundary movement of chemicals. Rotterdam Convention is about prior informed consent in use of certain chemicals. And the Stockholm Convention is about persistent organic pollutants. And Minamata Convention is about mercury. So we have to differentiate between these conventions and the chemicals they are dealing with. The answer is B. Next question. If a wetland of international importance is brought under the Montreal record, what does it imply? A. Changes in ecological character have occurred, are occurring, or are likely to occur in the wetland as a result of human interference. B. The country in which the wetland is located should enact a law to protect any human activity within 5 kilometers from the edge of the wetland. C. Survival of the wetland depends on the cultural practices and tradition of certain communities living in its vicinity, and therefore the cultural diversity therein should not be destroyed. It is given the status of World Heritage Site. So this is about the Montreal record, which is a part of Ramsar Convention. So if you remember this link, you can answer this question. This Ramsar Convention is about the wetlands, right? So Ramsar Convention lists a group of wetlands that are of international importance, and Montreal's record is that record among the Ramsar sites which is facing degradation, right? So the option A, changes in ecological character have occurred, are occurring, or likely to occur. That is meant threat already happened, threat is happening, or there is likelihood of threat happening to the ecosystem as a result of human interference. That is option A. Option A is the answer. So we have seen in our discussion about Ramsar sites in India, and we have seen the wetlands in the Montreal record also. Now we have two wetlands in Montreal record. They are the Loktak Lake and Kalaudia Khana National Park, which means that human intervention is causing threatening, that is degradation of the wetlands. So we have to take care for its conservation and restoration. So other things are not dealing with this Montreal record. B. The country in which wetland is located should enact a law to prohibit any human activity. Like that, restrictions are not there. C. Wetland, the cultural diversity and wetland also not linked, and World Heritage Site and this wetland conservation also not linked. So the option is A. Third question. With reference to Global Environment Facility, which of the following statement is or are correct? A. It serves as financial mechanism for Convention on Biological Diversity and United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. B. It undertakes scientific research on environmental issues at global level. C. It is an agency under OECD to facilitate the transfer of technology and funds to underdeveloped countries with specific aim to protect their environment. D. Both A and B. So the question is about one particular organization, that is GEF, Global Environmental Facility. In our discussions we saw that it is a financial mechanism which is supporting different international conventions including United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and also the Convention on Biological Diversity and many other conventions also. So the option A is correct. What about option B? It undertakes scientific research on environmental issues at global level. No, it is not a research organization. It is just a mechanism to support different environmental activities. C. It is an agency under OECD. No, it is not under any organization. It is an autonomous body. So C also wrong. So D also automatically it becomes wrong because B is wrong. So here answer is A. Next question. With reference to the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources and the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, which of the following statement is or are correct? First, IUCN is an organ of the United Nations and CITE is an international agreement between the governments. Second, IUCN runs thousands of field projects around the world to better manage natural environments. 3. CITES is legally binding on the states that have joined it, but this convention does not take the place of national laws. Select the correct using the code given below. So this question is from UPSC 2015. Options are A, B, C, D. Given to choose between the three options, three statements. So it is about IUCN and CITES. IUCN is an intergovernmental organization, non-governmental organization, which is a collaboration of different conservation organizations. It can include the national governments also. And the CITE is an international convention. So what does CITE stands for? CITE stands for Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. First statement. IUCN is an organ of United Nations. No, IUCN is not an organ of United Nations. It is a intergovernmental organization. CITE is an international agreement between governments. Okay, but first statement is wrong because IUCN is not an organ of United Nations. IUCN runs thousands of field projects. Yes, they are involved into conservation of ecosystems and also the specific species. You know that IUCN Red Data Book and related activities. So it is true. 3. CITES is legally binding on the states. Yes, that international convention is legally binding. Those who ratified it are supposed to take actions, otherwise they will face punishment, a legal punishment they have to face. But the convention does not take the place of national laws. National laws should be according to the CITES, but if there is any national law, it won't override the CITES. So that is also true. So the option is 2 and 3. It is B. So in the questions, there is a clear pattern that about the different organization, they will ask whether it is a part of United Nations or it is under our government. If it is an NGO in India, usually you can expect questions like whether it is an autonomous body, whether it is working under our ministry, like that. So whenever you are hearing about an organization, please note whether it is a private organization or it is under any governmental or intergovernmental organizations. Okay. Next question. What is Rio plus 20 conference often mentioned in the news? A. It is the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. B. It is the Ministerial Meeting of the World Trade Organization. C. It is the Conference of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. D. It is a conference of member countries of the Convention on Biological Diversity. So this question is UPSC 2015. It is about Rio plus 20. And it is an easy question. If you are aware of the different environmental convention, Rio plus 20 is an important convention because it is the second Earth Summit. Right? Second Earth Summit happened at Rio. And here different decisions were taken regarding the sustainable development, and the convention name was United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development. So it is not a meeting of the World Trade Organization. It is not a conference of IPCC. It is not a conference of CBD. What is the conference of member countries of CBD called? It is called COP. Right. So here answer is very clear. It is A, option A. Next question. Consider the following international agreements. International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture, the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, World Heritage Convention. Which of the above has or have a bearing on biodiversity? So here three conventions are given. You have to find which has its impact or its agenda related to biodiversity. So first is International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. The name itself is very clear. It is about plant genetic resources and for food and agriculture. We know that agricultural biodiversity is very essential for our food security. We will get different hybrids with the desired property using the genetic variety. Also the genes taken from the wild varieties, especially for drought resistant variety of plants. We will go to the wild varieties for the genes, for the specific genes for making the hybrids. Second, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. What is the desertification? Desertification is the degradation of the ecosystem. When a forest or any other land is losing its biological productivity and changing into a desert, it is called desertification. So it is also having relation to the biodiversity, right? It is dealing with the ecosystem diversity, protection of ecosystem, right? Third is about World Heritage Convention. How Heritage Convention is related to biodiversity? Heritage Convention has both man-made and natural ecosystems. Right? In India also we have some 7 to 8 World Heritage Site, natural sites, and we have mixed site also, that is having both cultural and natural significance. So it has also a relation with biodiversity. We will try to conserve the natural landscape, which is like a heritage. It is a representative ecosystem for the time-bound relation, like for years there is a relation between human and environment. That evolution also this heritage sites will show. So it includes the protection of both natural and man-made heritages. So it also have bearing on biodiversity. So the answer is 1, 2 and 3. It is D. D is the answer. Next question. Which of the following statement is or are correct? Proper design and effective implementation of UN REDD+ program can significantly contribute to first, protection of biodiversity. Second, resilience of forest ecosystem. Third, poverty reduction. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So it is from UPSC 2016. The question is about the UN REDD+ program. So what is RED and RED plus? RED and RED plus is part of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, which will try to preserve and enhance the carbon stock in forest ecosystems, because forest is a carbon sink of carbon, right? So it try to preserve and also enhance the carbon stock in forest ecosystem in developing countries. So UN has also been to support the RED Plus activities in the developing countries. It is called UN RED Plus. So what does it help? It helps in the protection of forests. So we can say that it helps in the protection of biodiversity. It helps in the protection of the ecosystem, right? Second, it helps in the restoration of the forest ecosystem. That is resilience. Resilience means ability to restore back in the event of any damage. For example, a fire has occurred, natural disaster has occurred, somebody has cut the forest. In that case also the forest should be able to regenerate back. So it will try to increase the restoration of the degraded forest, resilience of forest ecosystems. Third, poverty reduction. What is the relation between poverty and RED plus? In RED, it is about the forest ecosystems, but in RED plus, it deals with the human environment also related to the forest. So the RED plus includes sustainable management of the forest and also the increase in the development in the regions, that is improvement in the livelihood of the forest dependent people, right? So it tries to enhance the human and environment together in a sustainable manner. That is the plus denoting in that. So this program try to enhance the capacity of the human population also there. It means that improving their development, human development, and also the livelihood opportunities. So the answer is 1, 2 and 3. It is D.
For Engineering Services General Studies video lectures, visit www.iesgeneralstudies.com. For Mechanical Engineering video lectures and question and answer discussion, visit www.getnet.com.